Well, hello there, everyone. Today we have another Mandela Effect video. I'm still enjoying doing these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. And yeah, I feel like Mandela Effects are one of those things that just keep popping up. They're like never ending, and some are just very old Mandela Effects that I stumble across, and then some are brand new ones that still seem like they're happening right before our eyes. So I don't know what to think. Maybe we're all just stupid, but there's this many, so it's like, I don't know. I tend to fall on the side of I believe in a lot of things. But yeah, I'm just here to share some Mandela Effects with you guys today, and you'll have to let me know what you think at the end of the video. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get on into it. I got some doozies for you today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first Mandela Effect has me actually shooketh. This is from my childhood. Don't know if this is even still a thing today, but do you guys remember, well, let me ask you this. When the ice cream truck came down your street, what ice cream did you get? For me, I always wanted one of those character faces ones, and I typically wanted the Bubbles one from Powerpuff Girls. I was a big Powerpuff Girl fan when I was a kid. So I always wanted like the Bubbles ice cream or just like one of those character heads. I just thought they were so good. You know, with the messed up eyeballs every time. The eyeballs were never right. The colors were never right. The characters always look messed up, okay? But it was like the best ice cream ever. The texture, it tasted so good. And like I said, Bubbles was always my favorite, but you remember they had all different characters. Like they had SpongeBob, they had Bubbles obviously, and like a ton of different characters from just different shows. And they had Dora. They were really just wonky and messed up. But I always remember there being a Boots ice cream, like a version where it was Boots's head. And obviously there was Dora, but apparently Boots never existed as a ice cream flavor head on the stick thing from the Ice Cream Man. And I just feel like I vividly remember this. I remember the Dora, and then I remember there being a Boots along with all the other ice cream flavors. I remember his little head, how he was like blue and then like tan, and the eyes and everything. I vividly remember him on the packaging with the red boots, like everything. I remember that being a part of the ice cream truck like display. I mean, I don't even know if there's ice cream trucks anymore, but you know, back in the day, the ice cream trucks, and they would have the picture of every single ice cream on it. I always remember Boots being on there and that he was an option. Now, I never wanted it, obviously. I wasn't a big Dora girl. Like I said, I was a Powerpuff Girl, but I remember that so vividly, and my sister was really into Dora, and I feel like she would get the Boots one all the time. I feel like that she did that. So I am shooketh. I am baffled by this one, because I just truly remember there being a Boots ice cream character head. So let me know what you guys remember on that one. Maybe we're all crazy, but I just definitely remember there being Boots along with Dora, and then obviously all the other characters. So did you guys get a Boots one? Do you remember like actually getting one? Because I just remember there was always like one on the truck, and like I remember the packaging, everything, but apparently it's never existed. So let me know what you guys remember on that one, because that one freaks me out. Okay, the next one has to do with the Jungle Book, and the Jungle Book, when it first came out, obviously was a long time ago, but then I remember they did a special like showing of it. I don't know if there was a new one coming out or what, but I remember being very young and going to see the original Jungle Book in like a movie theater. Obviously we all remember that scene, that Bare Necessities scene where Baloo is dancing. And just picture it in your head. Just picture that scene. He's dancing with Mowgli. They're singing the Bare Necessities, and Baloo has like dressed up with the coconut thing and the grass skirt and then the coconut bra, right? That's what I always remember it being, was that he had the coconut bra. When you go to theme parks and Baloo is there, a lot of times if there's like dancing and stuff, he's dressed up with the coconut bra and the grass skirt and the coconut thing on his face. Apparently he's never had the coconut bra. In the movie, he doesn't wear that. He's just like bare, and then he just has the skirt. And like, I think he had like some leafy thing on his head, and I want to say he had like coconut shells around his mouth, but the focus here is the coconut bra that he never had. I vividly remember this. Like I can think of the movie and think of that song. Like I loved this movie growing up. I loved the Jungle Book. And I just vividly remember that scene and that he was wearing the coconut bra. And apparently like tons and tons of people remember it this way too, but evidently he's never had this coconut bra. And that just does not make sense to me, because I've seen clips and footage and different things where there are, you know, like the characters that people are inside of, that there's a blue character and he's got the coconut bra on. Like, I don't understand with some of these Mandela effects how it was like this way, and apparently it's always been this way. Then why would like the character version of something show it the way we all remember? Like, why, if he never wore a coconut bra at all ever, and that's just the way it was and we're all remembering it wrong, why then are people who dressed up as him wearing the coconut bra? Like, why does everybody remember it that way? Even like companies and theme parks and things like that, to the point where they would dress up the character outfit like that. Like, there has to be some like truth behind the fact that maybe it once was on there, the coconut bra, right? Like, I don't know, that's what I think about all these Mandela effects. Like, why do we all remember it that way? Why is there products sold, quotes made, different references in shows, if like that specific thing never happened? It had to have happened somewhere for us all to remember it this way, right? So that one freaks me out, because I just definitely remember it being on blue like that. But let me know what you guys think about that one. That one is weird, or what you've seen. If you've been somewhere and seen like a Baloo character, or like the Jungle Book characters, what was Baloo dressed as? Because that one, I cannot get over it. Okay, the next one has to do with Scooby-Doo, and this is another show that I loved as a child. I was like obsessed with Scooby-Doo, okay? I loved it. I had the Scooby-Doo, like the, what was the one movie where they were like in Louisiana, and I like remember them eating like crawfish, and I had that movie on VHS. I had so many like Scooby-Doo movies on VHS, but I specifically remember that one where they were at like this creepy haunted place in Louisiana in the swamps. I remember the scene where they were like eating the crawfish and they were red, and there was a storm, and like, I forget what it's called. But anyway, all that to say, I was a big Scooby-Doo fan. Still am, of course, but the old like Scooby-Doo show, like the original and things like that. And I even show it to my son now, but it's on some streaming service that I have. I can't remember which one. But, or I maybe just get it on YouTube. I don't know, all of that's irrelevant, but I showed my son Scooby-Doo even. So like, I was obsessed with Scooby-Doo, okay? And I always remember Shaggy having an Adam's apple. I don't know why this is a thing that like everybody seems to remember, maybe because he ate so much, but I always remember Shaggy having an Adam's apple. I remember even as a kid being like, what is that? Why is his throat like that? And like thinking that about once I learned what Adam's apples were, that I would think of Shaggy. And apparently he's never had an Adam's apple. I cannot get over this, you guys. I cannot get over this. This one makes no sense to me at all. I don't know why we would all remember something so specific and silly as an Adam's apple if it just never existed. Why would so many people make that up to the point where it's a very popular Mandela effect if that never happened? Like, that's too much of a specific detail of a character for everybody to just think, it's for everybody to remember it that way. Like, why would we all think, oh, Shaggy had an Adam's apple, if that just never was the case? You know, why would we all randomly make that up? It makes no sense, right? But apparently that's the truth. Apparently he has never had an Adam's apple, not in any of the Scooby-Doo shows, not even the really, really old ones, not any of the movies, not any of the modern day things, nothing. Like, what? Blows my mind. That one sends me every time. So let me know what you guys remember there, because these today I'm all just like, what the heck, because I just remember it a different way. Okay, so the next Mandela effect has to do, I know we've talked, I think, about the Mona Lisa in the past. Today we are talking about the Last Supper painting, also by Leonardo da Vinci, of course. But if you picture the Last Supper painting in your mind, obviously when they're all sitting around the table, I can't say that I remember this one or like recognize this one too well. I guess I've never paid that close of attention to the Last Supper painting, like to this detail. But apparently there was once a golden cup or like chalice on the table, and that was supposed to represent, I think, like the wine or something. I'm not exactly sure there, but there was evidently this gold cup that was in the Last Supper painting, and it was on the table, and it's not there anymore. And a lot of people are talking about this online. Like I said, I don't specifically remember this one. I don't think I've ever paid that close of attention to the Last Supper painting, but people are freaking out about this online, saying there was once a gold cup in the painting and now there's no gold cup anywhere in the painting, not where they remember it being, not in a different spot, nothing. There's just no cup there, and apparently it's never been there. So let me know what you guys remember about that, if you remember the cup or if you remember it never having one, or if you're like me and just don't really remember this one at all. But I definitely think that's weird, like how the Mona Lisa, her smiles changed and now she has a veil and just different things that just weren't ever there before. And it's also a Da Vinci, and then this one now as well. So it's strange and bizarre and weird to me. And even though I don't remember it, I do recognize that a lot of other people do. So I definitely think that's interesting and worth talking about. So let me know what you guys remember about the painting. Okay, and this last Mandela effect has to do with a movie that I really enjoy, that I have seen many, many times. And when sorry, I thought I saw a fly. I think I just am seeing things. Anyway, this last Mandela effect, like I said, has to do with a movie that I really, really enjoy and I've seen many, many times, and it is very famously quoted like all the time. And it is the Silence of the Lambs Mandela Effect. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this one. This is not a new one by any means. But if you think of Silence of the Lambs, like, I mean, there's a couple quotes from that movie that are hugely referenced all the time. But like, when you think of Silence of the Lambs, what is one of the first things you think of? For me, it's, hello, Clarice. And then it's like, she puts the lotion in the basket. Like, obviously, those are very popular quotes from the movie, right? And why would they be popular quotes if they were never said? Can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. But apparently the line, hello, Clarice, was never said in that movie. Was never said in the scene that you're thinking of right now, where you thought it was said, where she walks in and sees Hannibal and he says, hello, Clarice, you know, like behind the glass. Like, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. Apparently that never happened. And he never said it any other time in the movie. There was never a point where he said the words, hello, Clarice. In that scene, he says, good morning. Good morning. Like, what? Why? Like, this is my justification for all these Mandela effects. Like I said before, why would we all remember and be quoting hello, Clarice? Why would we be saying that for decades after this movie's come out if it was literally never said? Like, we quote the other things, like the lotion stuff and the basket and she does the like, we quote things from movies all the time that were actually said. So why would so many people collectively be quoting hello, Clarice, if it never was ever said anywhere in the movie, even if we remember it in the wrong scene? No, it was just never said. Like I said, I enjoy that movie. I love like movies like that, just like creepy movies. And I've seen The Silence of the Lambs many times, especially that one, because you know there's multiple. And I vividly remember, like, oh my gosh, I remember being in my parents' basement and watching it on Netflix. Like, the first time I ever watched it, this was years and years and years ago. I don't even know if it's still on Netflix, but it was back then. And I remember watching it for the first time, and I vividly remember seeing that scene, sitting on the couch in my parents' basement and being like, oh, this movie is so good. But why would we all remember that? And it's never been said. Like, something had to happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you're a fan of that movie, let me know. Let me know what you remember. Maybe we're all just confused, but I really don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, that's going to be all the Mandela effects for today. Let me know what you guys think of these in the comments. This is a really crazy one in my opinion. Let me know if you know of some Mandela effects that I haven't talked about yet and that you think are crazy, and just what you think of the Mandela effect in general, or if you remember any of these the way they were or the way they are now. I'd love to know and talk to you guys about that, because I think we all remember things differently sometimes. So let me know what you guys remember about these, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!